Three lifelong friends, 6 trusty balls, and endless NFL takes. Welcome to Three Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast.
Welcome to episode 32 of Three Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast, your favorite podcast about the NFL and balls. Will, last week we asked Avery how he was doing. How are you doing today?
Just overall?
Yeah. How you doing?
I mean, I'm doing pretty good. I think things are going well. I think, life be lifing, but the Rams be winning.
Yeah, I was going to say, how you feeling about your Rams?
Man, first half not great, second half better. The problem is had the Ravens realized and kind of pulling the curtain back here, had the Ravens realized they had Tyler Huntley on the team the whole time, they probably win that game. But thank goodness they didn't.
But a win's a win, so that's what matters.
Win's a win.
All right. Well, we got some good stuff for you guys today. We've got a topic that I'm pretty excited to talk about. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. But Will, you're going to go ahead and get us started with your Week 6 recap here. So go ahead.
Week 6 recap. Here we go. Eagles at Giants. Brian Daboll and his 2 sons sticking it to the champs with 2 losses in a row. I'm sure the remains of the city of Philly are being pushed into a cliff. Also, 4 tush pushes in a row is just not good football. You're only doing that because you don't trust your running back to run anymore or your quarterback to throw the ball. Let's get some better people in there to do that. Broncos, Jets in London. It was a good thing this game was so early in the morning when nobody had to feel bad about not watching, because that was not a good game. Broncos fans, you may have won, but are you guys doing okay? Because it is not pretty over there. Seahawks at Jaguars. Jaguars used up all their good luck last week to beat the Chiefs, and then went ahead and made sure their number 1 defense made Sam Darnold look like an all-pro. Even grandfather time, Cooper Kupp got the action last week, getting his first touchdown as a Seahawk. Chargers at Dolphins. This is a game the Chargers usually lose, and they tried really hard to lose it. Being up 13 points with 12 minutes left in the game, they still needed a last-second field goal to end up winning. So this is one, hey, you know what? The times are changing for the Chargers. They usually lose that one, but they ended up winning. Browns Steelers. This game was exactly what it should have been. AFC North physical football, where the Browns just can't score a touchdown. And we have Cowboys at Panthers. Listen, you're the Dallas Cowboys. You're going to face the absolute buzzsaw that is the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Rico Dowdle's stuck it to them, and Dowdle indeed. The Dolphins left from last week are starting a support group that will now include Dallas as teams got physically assaulted by Rico Dowdle. And we have the Ravens. The Ravens, again, sorry for saying this twice now, the Ravens forgot they had Lamar Jackson light on their team in the way of Tyler Huntley, who in 1 quarter did just as well as Cooper Rush did the other 3. Not great to see Puka get hurt, but hey, we still got the win. That's all that matters. Pats at Saint. Booty, rocking all the May. Bills fans, you guys doing okay? The Pats are good again. Cardinals at Colts. Cardinals offense looked good, and all it took was Kyler Murray to not play. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost franchise are in first place in the AFC. How about that? Sitting with the first round bye right now. Titans at Raiders. Titans are so bad they fired their head coach, but in reality, he isn't the one dropping passes or not playing defense, so who's really to blame? Bengals at Packers. As fun as it would have been for Joe Flacco to beat the Packers twice with 2 different teams, wasn't quite in the cards. In their last 3 games, the Packers have lost and then tied and then won. All 3 outcomes. Congratulations, you did it. Then we have Niners at Bucks. In the game of the backups, the Bucks prove their offense is deeper. Baker is an animal, and he's going to make that team win. So long as Baker's on the field, that team's going to keep winning. And then we had Lions at Chiefs. Can we do all of America a favor and keep the Chiefs off of Sunday Night Football? I am so tired of hearing Chris Collinsworth kiss the hindquarters of the Mahomes. It is unbelievable how much.
Did you see that? Real quick, did you see that clip of him when he's like, he rushes for 8 yards and then gets clobbered? It's like, how many quarterbacks do this? I'm like, bitch,
all of them.
Were you around yesterday? Dude, it was all over everywhere. ESPN, social media. I'm like, he did it better than this.
It was earlier in the same day. It was 3 hours earlier.
Oh, yeah, it was the same day.
Yeah, same day when Baker broke that tackle. 4 tackles in a row, spun out, and 3. Yeah, it was huge. He ran for the first down. Crazy.
I'm just blown away that he keeps talking him up, considering that's been a running joke for 3 or 4 years now.
I know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The Chiefs are good, and the Lions are also good, but not quite as good. We go to Bills Falcons. Bills fans losing 2 in a row. Are you guys okay? I don't really know what to make of this game. Atlanta just came to play in prime time. I don't even know what to say about it. And we got Bears at Commanders wrapping up the week, doing a good job to make sure the Giants are the only NFC East team to win this week, with the inability to tackle anyone from the Bears. Also, another last-second field goal to close out the week to win the football game. Anyway, that was week 6. Joel, back to you.
All right. I love these weekly recaps. I think they're pretty funny. I don't know how you come up with this stuff, but I really like them. So I do have a question that we didn't plan on talking about, but I do have a question for you guys. And this has to do with Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes. So I keep seeing today that Patrick Mahomes is the new favorite for MVP. Why on earth is Patrick Mahomes the favorite for MVP?
Says who?
He is the betting favorite for MVP right now.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
He's the odds-on favorite right now. The reason is because of history and the team. If Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes have equal stats at the end of the year, they're going to give it to Mahomes anyway.
Which is retarded.
They won't give it to Baker.
I would be
They
so
basically
pissed if
have
that
identical stats right now.
But here's the thing. Why would they give it to Josh Allen if he had worse stats than Lamar Jackson last year, but then give it to Mahomes because he has better stats than Mayfield?
Here's the thing. I don't think it's actually – I think that's just the favorite. I don't think anyone's arguing that Patrick Mahomes is going to win it. I just think if you're Vegas and you need to set a line, I think that Patrick Mahomes being the favorite in, week 6? What are we at? I think that he would be – like, that would be a safe assumption to make. Like, if you had Baker right now at top, I feel like there's a lot of people like, hey, there's still a lot of football left to play. Like, what are the chances that Baker Mayfield is still the favorite after, 10 more weeks? And so that's why I think, Patrick Mahomes, with what Will said, the history of it, and then just the fact that it's Patrick Mahomes and he's still on the Chiefs and they have not been dethroned. They don't win it every year. But, as far as the Vegas line, it makes sense for odds, but not to make a case that he right now would win or that he should win.
Also, if you think about the teams, we've got Chris Godwin out for who knows how long. We've got Mecca out for at least one more week, if not more. We've got Mike Evans out. We've got Bucky Irving out. 75%, if not more, of the Buccaneers offense is just out right now. Whereas the Chiefs is the opposite, where they've got people coming back from suspension and back from injury. And so Mahomes' playmakers are coming back, whereas Baker's playmakers are dropping off like flies.
But doesn't that help Baker's case, though? Doesn't that help his case?
If they put up the same amount of numbers, but it doesn't help his case to keep winning games.
Right.
It gives it's higher risk, high reward kind of thing. Where it's if you can do it, that gives you even more reason to win the MVP, but it's harder to do it.
You're thinking about most valuable player as actual team value. That is not what they judge most valuable player off of. Because if so,
which is
then Joe Burrow should win it right now. He should be odds-on favorite to win MVP. Because without Joe Burrow on that team, they are hot garbage.
Well, they weren't much more than hot garbage when he was still there
right,
this
but at
season.
Least that offense could move the ball a little bit. And so the value to the team doesn't matter. It should be, just like Avery with earlier in the year, we were talking about Offensive Player of the Year versus MVP. Those really should be the same award. There should not be a true MVP award. They should just be Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to throw any disrespect or anything at Patrick Mahomes. He's great. He's been great. But I'm just not a fan of giving the MVP award to somebody who's already won it, especially when they win it multiple times. Give it to somebody who hasn't won it before. That's why I liked it. That's why I liked Josh Allen winning it last year over Lamar Jackson, because Lamar had already won and Josh Allen had not won before. So I'm a fan of that. I just don't like it. And it's the same thing with teams winning the Super Bowl 60 times out of 60. It's like the Patriots, you get annoyed because they're always there. Same thing with the Chiefs. That's why people don't like them, because they've won so many Super Bowls. They've been to so many Super Bowls in a row. It's okay, this is getting a little bit old. Let's get something new in here. So that's why I don't like it. But that's just, yeah. It's not just because I'm a Bucs fan. That's part of it, but not the whole thing.
I disagree. to an extent. Like I would agree with what you're saying that yeah, it gets a little old seeing it. However, I want the award to go to the most qualified person. It's the same thing with like Jordan. If people in the 90s were saying Jordan's going to win again, okay, it's like no, this is good. This is like dynasty building. This is what's giving like the NBA like more spotlight and more like basically just more money and more fans is like building this thing up. And especially with the Chiefs, I'm like, I don't like the Chiefs winning, but like, you know, I'm like, hey, good. Like, make them villains to the rest of the league. The same thing the Patriots were before. Like, I like that being there. However, I will say that, like, yeah, if it's just the dynastic teams that win every year, like it's like Lakers, Celtics, you know, finals every year, it's like, okay, for all the other fans of all the other teams, like, we'd like at least something or at least reason to believe this isn't fixed, you know? So, like, I see it as like, dude, if you did well enough to win the MVP, dude, you get it. Now, I have my own beef and qualms with the MVP award as documented by this show, where it's like, okay, what is the criteria here? Like, why is there most valuable and offensive player? Like, what's the different criteria? And everyone has a different definition for it. Like, I don't like that. I feel like it is more subjective. And then at that point, it's really just who's the flashiest, most fun, notable player this year? Let's just give it to them. And it's like, that was a popularity award more than anything. It's like, we talked about you the most on ESPN, so you get this award. That's basically kind of what it comes down to. I mean, unless you're being talked about for being trash or something.
Right. And I agree with you, Avery. Like, I'm not saying just give it to somebody else because they haven't won it, even though they don't deserve it. Like, but right now, like, I know you kind of looked at the long-term outlook, but right now, Patrick Mahomes does not deserve MVP over Baker Mayfield.
Nope.
Right now, he does not.
I don't
Maybe
think
if he continues. Go ahead, Will.
There you go.
I was just
Who
going to say, maybe if
it was right now, both of you, who would you guys give it to?
I would give it to
If it was
Mayfield,
right, the season ended right now.
If it was right now, Baker
right
Mayfield.
now.
Hold on, I can't answer that.
Because the thing is, for Will, and I'll give him some time to look this up. Because all I'm looking for is one other name that you would put over Baker Mayfield. Because that's really, I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to. If Joel's saying Baker, I want to know if there is. And then also, is it MVP award or offensive?
I don't know. I mean, if we're going for MVP, I'm giving it to Stafford right now. He's got 1,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks. Baker has 1,500 passing yards. He's got 150 less passing yards, same amount of touchdowns, 10 less attempts, right? Yeah, 1 less interception. He does have receivers. He does have half the interceptions, sure.
More injured players.
More wins.
But best record in the league.
Injury doesn't matter. I mean, the injury side of it doesn't really matter, right? And if we were going that route, then Daniel Jones is right there with him, although he doesn't have quite the touchdowns yet. But that's just, if it's off a record, that doesn't really matter either.
Making the case for Baker, and I'm sure Joel could do a much better job than me, I would say, like, I mean, the notable plays of just strong will, where you look at it and you're like, okay, that's insane. Like, that's what every fan wants their quarterback to be able to do. You know, like 3rd and 14, like, dude, he's just going to will it. And that's something that, like, you can tell, like, this is stuff that we're going to see again later when he accepts the trophy, if he wins it, you know, at the end of the season. Like, look at all these plays he made for his team. And that's, I think, the biggest thing is, like, dude was willing his team to victory, despite the injuries and a point differential of, like, 10, 17. What is it? I think Joel can find that for me. Oh no, I have it right here.
I can find it. Yeah, I don't know if off
14,
the top of my head.
2 touchdowns, point differential. The 5-1. All the injuries he had Tez Johnson, the 6th-string wide receiver, thinking that the MVP chants were for him. That's how good Baker is. He throws a touchdown, and he got him thinking he's the MVP.
That was the funniest video from the weekend for sure. I was telling
Joel, I'm like, dude, yeah, if you come in because all the other receivers are out and you make this insane play, do this insane flip, and then from right out the end zone, you hear everyone chanting MVP. I don't blame him. I'm like, dude, that's your first touchdown, an insane touchdown. Blame him. I'm like, I mean, yeah, think about it for 2 seconds, and then you'll realize, yeah, that's for Baker. You know, but still.
Anyway, Avery, who would you give it to?
Baker. I don't. I based on right now. Yeah.
I will say a feather in his cap is that if Baker were to get hurt, heaven forbid, nobody wants it to happen. Do you know who the backup is in Tampa?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater. There is no way this team is anywhere near as good with Teddy Bridgewater. Nowhere near. I mean, it's almost like what's that guy's name in Cincinnati?
Oh
no, it's Cincinnati. Burrow. It's like Burrow to Browning. That's the level of play I would expect to see. And not that Teddy Bridgewater's bad, but you're going from A+ caliber guy to not. And it's like, oh gosh, we had this all-star and now we just don't.
Well, if Baker Mayfield gets hurt, I hope Puka Nacua dies.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no. All right.
Jimmy G. Oh, Stetson Bennett's on the Rams?
Yes, I'm not. I knew it was Jimmy G. I'm not a fan of it. Although I would, I think, take Jimmy G over Teddy Bridgewater, but it is like F and F A. Like it is a subset right there. There's nothing really one over the other.
Yeah.
Just that Jimmy at least.
Here's I will say this though. Also, to kind of, well, this is kind of against Stafford, is that, I mean, how many MVPs has Stafford won? How many offensive player of the years has Stafford won? Because that's not even an obvious question. Dude's been in the league since 2009. So
I don't think he has any.
Zero.
Okay, how many times is he like leading the league in yards? Because it's often. Like, in that entire 16 years, he's always a prolific passer. So when I see that, right now, he looks par for the course. I mean, I'd say above, well, like better, just because he's so much older now. He's 16 years in the league. And so, like, seeing those high numbers, like, that's always Stafford. Stafford's always just slinging the ball. So when I see that, and now it might just be a little bit of kind of like maybe fatigue or a little bit, just like I'm used to Stafford always like just throwing the ball out, whether they win the game, who knows, back when he was in Detroit. But when I see that, I'm like, that's just normal Stafford. I'm not thinking of giving him the award for like simply doing what he already does. Not to say that like your greatness is monotonous and so we're not going to recognize it anymore. But if you don't even have a better record through 6 games than Baker, then it's like, all right, well then that alone would edge it out for me. However, going back to the Vegas odds, I do think it's smart though to put Patrick Mahomes as the favorite. If Baker's not right behind though, I think that would be exploitable by bettors. Okay. But like Patrick Mahomes is still like, dude, it's still Patrick Mahomes. Rashee Rice is coming back. Still the Chiefs. Like the Bucks still have to play through the rest of this gauntlet. Like, I don't know. I still like Baker though over him. If I was a betting man, I would bet Baker.
All I'm gonna say is if they continue at the same pace that they are right now, both of them, and Patrick Mahomes wins MVP, I'm gonna be very pissed. I'll be super pissed. But anyway, since we're talking about Baker Mayfield, our first official topic of this podcast is going to be, why are we seeing so many quarterbacks have success that were given up on by other teams?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a pretty strong opinion on this, but you set it up. You set it up.
All right. So right now we've got a lot of quarterbacks that were given up on by other teams who are having a lot of success. We've got guys like Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Mac Jones. We're seeing a lot of success from these guys. So what do you guys think? Why are we seeing success from these guys who were given up on by other teams?
I think it extends further than the guys you said. I think we have Aaron Rodgers in there as well. I think we saw last week Jacoby Brissett, who threw for like 350 yards. There's a lot of guys. And I think the big difference is that you draft a guy. Let's just take Daniel Jones as a tiny microcosm of the whole thing. The Giants draft this guy, Daniel Jones, who they think can come into their system and make it work. And it doesn't. For whatever reason, that coach or whoever thinks that their system's better than molding to the quarterback, and so it's no, you're going to do it my way, and this is the way it's going to be, and then the quarterback doesn't fit. For instance, when LaFleur came in with Aaron Rodgers, LaFleur wanted to run everything LaFleur's way, and it didn't fit with Aaron Rodgers' style of play. It just didn't work out, and so they butted heads a lot. And you hurt a lot because Aaron Rodgers is a pretty vocal guy about everything he's doing. And so it wasn't the way it wanted to be, and it didn't work out. And so Aaron Rodgers, well, the Packers moved on from Rodgers. And Jordan Love is a guy who's like, okay, I'll just do it this way then. And it seems to be working okay for them. And same thing with all these guys is that you get a new coach in there who wants to run things his way, and they pick, whether they pick the quarterback or the GM picks the quarterback because they like them, it's a, hey, I want you to run it my way. Whereas when you're a veteran and you get to pick your own team, like Daniel Jones technically got to pick the Colts. The Colts offered him. He could have gone somewhere else. He said, yeah, okay, I'll go here. I don't think he was traded out. You believe he signed there. And it was this is the style of offense we're going to run. Can you run that? They're given the option at that point. Is this something you can function for us? This is what we're looking at. And so as they get older in their career, one, experience, and two, they get to kind of pick and choose where they want to go within reason. Obviously, not everybody's offering people like Daniel Jones or Mac Jones even to come to their team. But I think that's why we saw Anthony Richardson now work out with that team. Now, skill may be part of it there.
Well, that's because he's made of glass.
Yeah, that's where the skill comes in. Yeah, he's hurt again and he's the backup. I don't quite understand this one. But it's they don't fit the system that the coach is forcing the new quarterback to run, whereas when they get older and more experienced in the NFL, they're able to run or pick a system that fits the style of quarterback they are.
Okay, so I like the example of Aaron Rodgers, but I think he's in a little bit of a different category than these guys because Aaron Rodgers had success and he won a Super Bowl, but these guys like Sam Darnold and Mac Jones and Baker Mayfield, they were all considered busts. Aaron Rodgers was never considered a bust.
Was terrible. At the Jets, he was terrible. Not the one season where he got hurt. The other season, he was real bad.
That's after he's already had success, though, and he's past his prime.
Sure.
So these guys are in their prime, like right now, but they were considered busts before they got to where they are. So I think he's in a little bit of a different category than these guys.
I can agree with that. I mean, Baker had success before he moved on to the Rams, and there was a few other teams in there. And then eventually the Buccaneers, he won a playoff game with the Browns. People forget that. I mean, they can't because everybody keeps saying it out loud. But he didn't fit the Brown system to coach. And then the GM were like, no, we're going to run our way. And then we see how that's going for him rather than just letting Baker be Baker. So I think it's a big part of it is the coach / GM / owner or whoever's ego getting in the way of you drafted this guy to do a thing he wants to do. That's why I think the Bills have had so much success with Josh Allen, and the Ravens have had so much success with Lamar Jackson because they drafted these guys, and Josh Allen. I don't know if you guys remember this, but he was an awful quarterback when he came into the league. He could throw the ball the entire length of the football field, but his completion percentage was abysmal.
Terrible.
His first 2 years. But they said, okay, this is what you can do, so let's play within these parameters while we build your skills around you. Just like Lamar Jackson. He couldn't throw the ball very accurately. He couldn't do anything with throwing it, but he was good enough at other things. He said, let's develop your skill of throwing the football. And so they take the quarterback and they build the system around them versus hey, you're going to run my system in my team, and then they just fizzle out because it doesn't work.
For the most part, I do agree that I think that there's some pride and maybe inability to adapt with a lot of players and coaches. I think that all of these guys are professional football players. Coaches, not so much. I think that can be, if there's anybody on a team, coaches or players, that could be a fraud or not actually that good, it would be the coaches. The players have to go through a grueling lifetime of their life, process to prove that they're, good enough to be up there. They are constantly being tested. And some of these coaches, You get a lot of them that just, you were a player and then you got brought onto the staff, maybe because the head coach liked you. You play there. Maybe the team's already doing pretty good. You get put in a coordinator position. You guys win. You get offered a head coach position. Maybe the team's already doing well, so you look good, and then you get hired someone else. You don't do well. You get hired, passed around again. You don't do well. And it's kind of like, dude, you're kind of at the mercy of just how the team is, like what you've already got. You're not the GM. You're not building a team here. You're just taking the reins. And so I feel like seeing how much movement there is in the coaching carousel makes sense to me, because I feel like you should probably just be trying to pair the best coach with the players that you have. And I feel like a lot of times, like these players, you see Daniel Jones, you see Sam Darnold. I mean, Darnold's playing for the Jets and the Panthers. I mean, it's like, dude, the fact that he, wasn't written off is a miracle. So like even him, I mean, I think last year with the Vikings, I think that proved it's like, okay, this guy's a competent, capable quarterback, but like, are you going to do what's necessary to make him good? And I think that's like, I think about Baker Mayfield as like the main example here, where it's like you brought him in there and it's like, hey, Baker, like he was known as being this bombastic, just, competitor and winner. And so he like finally gets brought into Tampa Bay and they basically just say, just do your thing, dude. Like, we know your game. We know you're a winner. Like, let's win. And so I think it's this thing where like, yeah, you free him up a little bit. You get him out of his own head. You give him the keys to the, the kingdom here. And then it's just more of like, hey, they're all having a good time. Joel and I were talking recently about just like this team just feels like they're having a good time. Like everyone else is like playing for their job, for their work. And these guys are just out here like vibing. And it's just working for them. And I think most of the time it just comes down to like, hey, are you going to unlock these players to do what they need to do? It's the same thing with like, stats. You talk about A.J. Brown not getting his stats. And I think Ocho Cinco made a point where it's like, yeah, dude, this is what gets them paid. Like, yeah, you want to win games. Quarterbacks care about that a lot more. Coaches care about that a lot more. Like receivers, dude, if you don't have the production, teams are going to say, why would I pay you this much if you're not even producing that much? And so for them, it's more of like, it's completely a numbers game. If you want to get paid, you got to, produce. Otherwise, people look back at the stats like, oh, geez, you're not that good. That being said, I think that it comes down to the situation. I think every quarterback that comes into the league, unless it's like some hype train thing like Tebow or maybe even Johnny Manziel, where it's like, okay, like you did well there before, but like in those, not Tebow necessarily, but in Manziel, it's like, hey, this is your issue now. If you're not going to figure this out, no coach is going to help you. So that's part of the intangibles and everything. But if you're not looking to unlock that player, or you're too stubborn to switch up your scheme, like, yeah, then they're not going to do very well. And I think that's the issue. I think a lot of fans see these players as black and white, where it's like, they are black and white, but literally. But I think it's like, you're good or you're not good. And it's like, dude, they are a professional football player. Of course they're good. Are they going to be put in a good position? Is A.J. Brown now bad? It's like, no, he's not bad. Just hasn't been thrown the ball to. Maybe he's been covered. Maybe they have a different game plan. So I think a lot of this is like, it's just a situational fit. So I think bringing on a quarterback that wasn't good before, it's like, hey, dude, he might still not be good. Hopefully the coaches recognize we need to change something up. He didn't produce over there, so we definitely can't do what they did over there. So it's not really much of an answer, but it is very much it's like there's a lot of moving pieces, and I don't think anyone in the league is all good or all bad.
Okay, so follow-up question, and we kind of already talked about it, but does a quarterback make a franchise, or does a franchise make the quarterback? Or is it both?
It's got to be both. Because let's take Tom Brady, right? You take a player who is exceptional, and it's almost undeniable that Tom Brady was exceptional. He's retired now. We can all get over our hate for him because he was better than our teams. He was exceptional. But you take a coach who also was exceptional in the NFL, maybe not so much at UNC. Sorry, Avery.
I hate it.
You take a coach who was also exceptional, and both player and coach demanded the highest out of every other player on that team. And so when you can get multiple people, your head coach and your leader on your team, to both buy into the same train, their thought train, you're just going to be incredible. And so I think it's both, because you took Brady and he went to Tampa and it was the same thing. You had exceptional quarterback and coach that also demanded the highest possible. They saw eye to eye with their expectations, and they won the Super Bowl. And so I think it's both, because you can be a great coach but have a terrible team, and you're not going to go anywhere. But you can also be a terrible coach and have a great team. You're not going to go anywhere. So
another thing that I was thinking about recently this week is how I think we've all worked in work environments where there's one or two people where you're like, if they weren't here, morale would go through the roof. Like everyone would be so much happier. Like you'd be excited to come into work almost. And I wonder what that's like in the NFL locker room, or really, I mean, even college, where it's like, okay, if we didn't have this one guy here, like what would change? Like would we, because I can see, because I've had that happen in workplaces where like someone's gone. It's like, dude, I'm almost like more motivated now. I'm almost like happier to like speak my mind, get a little bit more creative, whatever it is. And I feel like that would be the same thing in some of these locker rooms where it's like, dude, if there's tension, I mean, I watched that Cowboys documentary and it's just showing like just what's his Aikman and I think it's Switzer, right? Where they were just butting heads by the end, and it just showed them just not winning a lot of games, never really addressing it. You can't really talk about it to the press because it's a bad form. And so it's like, what do we do? Just sit in this? Like, does Aikman take that to Jerry? Does he just have to deal with it? And it's like, how many people are in a position, how many organizations like that are almost held hostage by this, where you just have this cancer, this thing you just can't get rid of, you can't shake off. As soon as you guys, like, if you're winning, you're winning. Everyone's happy if you're winning. But like, you lose one game and then you get all this backbiting and all this like resentment and stuff. I was listening to Golden Tate on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast. And he's just like talking crap about everyone with this guise of like, I don't know what the deal is. Like, that we just butted heads. It's like, this is the 7th person you've talked about that you don't know why you butt heads with. I think you might be an issue here. But like just talking about all these crazy stories that happen behind the scenes that clearly like affect the rest of the team. Like I think he was just talking about Percy Harvin. They're going to like the Super Bowl and they like had a fist fight like the night before. And then they're at like anyway, I just see some of that and I'm like, okay, there's got to be a lot of things where it's like not even the amount of like the quarterback, but maybe the quarterback and the coach set the tone. And I would think like Andy Reid and Mahomes, where it's like, okay, there doesn't seem to be a lot of drama here. It seems to be like a set in stone thing where you got leaders here. And then it's more of following them than rather just like, I don't know, is our coach going to be here next year? Are these players going to be here? I'm looking to get paid. Our team's not winning. I don't really care anymore. That's just like, it's bringing everyone down. Anyway, I'm talking a lot.
Well, on that Mahomes Andy Reid thing, there was a lot of drama there though, but it wasn't Mahomes versus Andy Reid. It was Mahomes versus his own family. Right? We all saw the stories of Jackson dancing on the memorial and Brittany Mahomes spraying champagne on the fans that weren't in the box, and like there was just so much familial drama. And Lincoln's been on here a couple times and has said it, that Patrick has done a wonderful job of keeping his family out of it. I was almost certain that was that Taylor Swift was a bit of an incel by the Chiefs to get Brittany and Jackson to just shut the heck up. And just like, hey, you two go away. Look, we have a new fancy toy here. And so obviously, maybe not now. Congrats to them getting married, I guess. Whatever, do what you want. Shout out Wood. But anyway, I just think I think that there was a lot of drama that could have gotten even worse. Like if Patrick had not done anything about it and just let Jackson and Brittany do whatever they wanted consistently, then I bet there would have been a lot of Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes drama. But Mahomes took the needs of the team over that of his family, trying to gain whatever they were trying to gain off of him. They're like, hey, this is my job here. I have to work here, and not everybody's like that. Some people put themselves over the team, and it's like, well, I'm here to get mine, rather than I'm here to win. And we saw it a lot with the Patriots. They were just there to win.
One thing that I've kind of noticed is like with the Mahomes, whatever, Jackson and his wife, I see that as like, that was all outside noise. I don't imagine a lot of that like affected the locker room like at all. Maybe his jokes, like people seeing like the public reacting to some of this stuff. But like, I feel like the stuff that really affects the team is stuff that we would never know about until later when they go on a podcast and let everyone know. But that is something that's like, you got to get that like under control. And sometimes it is messier like that, where it's like, what if it's your brother and your wife that are causing problems? And it's like, okay, you guys got to step back. If you guys want this lifestyle, step back, So like that's, Anyway, I just think there are those things where it's like, we could try to look at a team like, I wonder what's going on in there. It's like, the thing is, we're not going to know. We're not going to know because it's going to have so much context and so many little like things that like they're never going to talk about this in the press or in interviews. It'd just be a bad look. It'll make the, team morale even worse. You need someone in there to like go crack some skulls and just be like, all right, hey, bad vibes, you're off the team. Get out. I have executive authority from Roger Goodell. You're out.
All right, so one more question for you guys in this segment, then we'll move on to the next thing. So are there any quarterbacks in the league right now that you would consider a bust who you think would do well on another team?
I think Jimmy Garoppolo would do great on any other team that's not the Rams, and they should bring in a different backup. That's what I think. I mean, you could take the bad teams, right? Like Dylan Gabriel. Could he do better somewhere else? Shador Sanders. Could he?
Yeah, but they're not considered busts, though. That's at least not yet.
Not yet, but look at, Baker's a bad example because he actually won in the Browns. I mean, Justin Fields, right? I think
that's what I was going to say.
He's a bust he seems to be a bust that didn't do well on the Bears. He's not doing well on the Jets. But I don't know if there is a different system that he could do well in. Maybe he could beat Kyler Murray.
He wasn't great, but he did fine in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I forgot that he was in Pittsburgh.
I think kind of what Will was saying about Josh Allen. Or was that Joel? One of you two. It had to be one of you two.
If it's good, I'll take credit.
Yeah. It was good advice. It was good insight. I think, honestly, if you took Justin Fields, I didn't realize how insanely athletic that guy is. Duke could play receiver. Duke could play running back. I feel like if you had, now I don't know if it's worth it to change the scheme of your offense enough to like centered around him, where it's more of maybe even a wildcat thing or something where you're utilizing him a little different. Because the thing is, he's not throwing the ball that well. He's not even being protected, which is kind of discounting his athleticism. I think I heard somewhere that he was like sacked. Of like the 9 times he was sacked, it was all like 4 seconds in. I was like, dude, get rid of the ball or leave. Like, what are you still doing there? And I wonder, like, hey, I doubt that's just a judgment thing. I'm sure it's like, hey, if you were quarterback, you got put in, your coach is like, hey, do this thing. You're like, I don't know if that would work. He's like, just do it. And you're like, okay. So you're like doing your best. And then if it's not perfect, like you're getting sacked, you're getting destroyed, you're throwing picks. I feel like he's just in a not great. I mean, he's at the Jets. That should just go without saying. I feel like just leaving the Jets would already make him 3 times better.
I mean, look at Sam Darnold and Aaron Rodgers. They left the Jets, and they're doing way better this year.
And you have got, not now, but Geno Smith. He was with the Jets, and he was with a few other teams before he was with the Seahawks. But when he was with the Jets, he was not good.
And that Bryce Young would be a lot better.
That's what I was going to ask you guys that next. I was going to ask what you guys think about Bryce Young.
Well, where would you put Bryce Young, Avery?
Ooh.
If you could trade quarterback for quarterback right now.
It would, I mean,
Let's just put him on the Jets.
Do this. He might do just about as good. I think it might be just as good if he's on the Jets. I think he's that good. That he could be a subpar, mediocre quarterback. Yeah, that's true. I think if Bryce Young, if Baker Mayfield went down and somehow Bryce Young was on that team, I think he'd do pretty well. I don't know if he would. I don't think he would be as good, but like I think numbers wise, I think he would have the protection he needs and the threats, the weapons. that he would. I think the weapons that he would have would help him put up some really good numbers. So I think most of the time, I mean, dude, if you get sacked once, it's in your head. You know, your line starts falling apart. You're not as confident making those throws, and then everything just kind of tumbles. You know, that's why you see like a quarterback who's on one, and then they just keep, performing.
Well,
I just think
Fields hasn't even played every game this year. He got hurt one and then missed one. He's been sacked 19 times. That's 3.8 times per game. And he missed a game. Now, that's of the 5 games he's played in. So it doesn't count the 6th one. But it also counts the partial game that he got hurt in. 19 times is a lot. That's a lot. I don't know if that's leading in the NFL or not, but that is
I know exactly
too many
who's leading.
times.
And with 25 sacks,
Jeepers.
Cam Ward.
Oh, all right. Yeah, it checks out.
I can't even I won't even call him a bust. And if you have the highest amount of sacks in the league, I'm not even going to you don't even qualify to be a bust. I'm like, let's see you not be on the ground for a second before I, put that label on you.
I bet if you were to take Cam Ward and put him on the Raiders, just full swap Geno and Cam Ward, I bet the Raiders are very good.
I could see that.
Because Cam Ward can sling it, and the Raiders do have some good they have
their offensive line's not that great, though.
True.
Yeah, he had 18 sacks.
But the difference is that you're more afraid of the Raiders running the football than you are the Titans running the football. And so you have to respect the run a bit more, so you have to do the Pete Carroll play action thing. And Geno just doesn't seem to be getting it right now.
Dude, Jones, Daniel, only been sacked 5 times.
Yeah, dude, they're keeping him clean.
Daniel Jones? Yeah, the Colts have had a good offensive line for years now. They just haven't had a quarterback to play back there.
Jeez. Did Brock Purdy get hurt on the field or, off?
It was on.
It was on the field in the game.
Was it one of his 2 sacks?
But that's just because he got a huge contract. That's the only reason why.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I think the world is surprised Christian McCaffrey's still upright.
Yeah, Avery said that last week, didn't he?
I saw a video. It was like Fred Warner. We have to sacrifice him to keep McCaffrey healthy for one more game. Just sacrificing 49ers players to keep McCaffrey alive.
Although, of all players sacrificed, Fred Warner was not the guy. That Niners defense got significantly worse once he went out. He is the heart and soul of pretty much that entire team, and especially that defense. I felt bad for him. And did you see it? Did you guys see that happen? See the replay of it?
No, I don't like to.
I don't. I
do like to, but I didn't see it.
If you don't want to, don't. It's bad. His foot's one direction, his legs a different direction.
Yeah, I saw the Tyreek Hill injury, and after that, I don't want to see any more injuries.
Oh, dude, Kevin Ware scarred me for life.
Kevin Ware is
the first time I talked about that guy.
Yeah. All right. So, Will, this last topic we have was your idea. So, do you want to introduce it to us?
Nope. Sure don't.
You don't even remember what it is, do you?
AFC Divisional Playoffs. Of course I do. So, we're going to talk about now let me go through the current rankings 1 through 7 in the expanded playoffs we have now. And we're talking AFC specifically, right?
Yes, just AFC this week.
Currently in the AFC 1 through 7, we've got Colts at number 1, Steelers at 2, Chargers at 3, Patriots at 4, Bills sitting in the wild card spot at 5, Jacksonville with the next wild card spot at 7, and Jacksonville at 6, and the Broncos in the 7th and final, or the 3rd and final wild card spot, ranked number 7. So, notably not in the playoff picture currently is the Chiefs. They're pretty much the only one I would consider maybe putting in there. But through them, let's talk about possibility of making the playoffs for the NFC side of the NFL.
AFC.
Excuse me, AFC. Thank you. This is why you do things, Joel, and Avery and I just make fun wiener jokes.
I try to give you guys a chance every once in a while.
And we drop it. We drop the ball every time. We are the Titan receivers. You are Cam Ward. We just cannot catch the football. You throw it to us all the time. We can't do it.
Will's like, here's the NFC, and Joel's like, close. Like, AFC? Like, yeah, there you go.
You have a 50% chance to get it right.
You got it. There you go. That was close, though.
Hey, it's better than the last time I handed it off to you. You just completely jumped off the podcast.
My internet go down or something? I don't even remember that.
I was just like, Will, take it away. And you're just like, nope, I'm gone.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, I agree with what you said, Will. I see this. I see the AFC standings as 8 teams competing for 7 spots, because you have the Chiefs in the 8th spot, and then you have everybody else after that. And I don't see anybody else after that making the playoffs. And I think there's really 8 teams competing for 7 spots in the AFC.
I think this is the earliest I've ever seen it where the race is this tight. Like usually in 6 weeks into the season, we're still looking at with our 16 teams on the side, we're looking at least 10, right? At least 10 teams that could possibly make it. But we're already down to, chances are there's only going to be 7. I don't see sitting like 3rd places here. Like the Bengals, they're not going to make a run. Texans, chances are low. Really, you're only looking at the AFC West and the Chiefs on if they can do anything or not.
Right. Yeah. The Patriots and Bills are clearly the 2 best teams in that division. The Steelers are just going to run away with that division. Although I do see the Steelers as the same thing as every year, where they just have this easy schedule. And then towards the end of the year, when it gets closer to the playoffs, they'll just start to fade away little by little. And then they'll get into the playoffs and they'll just lose their first game. So I just see the Steelers as the same, but they don't have any competition right now in that division. And then you've got the 3 teams in the AFC West, and you've got the Colts and the Jags. Now, if I had to pick, so I mentioned before, I said there's 8 teams competing for 7 spots. If I had to pick one team to not make those 7 spots, it's the Jags. And the reason why is because they have the worst quarterback of all those 8 teams. Trevor Lawrence is by far the worst quarterback of all the 8 teams. Not even just based off of opinion. It's like statistically, he is the worst quarterback of those 8 teams that are competing for those 7 playoff spots right now. So if I had to pick one to go out, I would say the Jags. And I got to apologize to our fan and Will's coworker, Lil Kirkin, for because he's a Jags fan. So I apologize, but I don't long term, I don't trust the Jags because of Trevor Lawrence.
I want to say, I know he's not considered a bust. He is a starting quarterback, but I think if Trevor Lawrence got put on the right team, I think he could pop off. I think he is someone who could, kind of that Sam Darnold position where it's like, dude, you put him on a team with a good line, some good weapons, I bet, and the right coach, I'll bet he could pop off.
I think Trevor Lawrence's problem is that he's just been like, he was the freshman quarterback who led Clemson to a national championship. And then ever since then, he's just he was supposed to have been the next Tom Brady, right? Like he was supposed to be the next generational guy. And I don't think he could handle that. And so I think that's really just what Trevor Lawrence's problem is.
Kind of the same with Deshaun Watson. I think a lot of that, I think the rest of those Clemson teams just made those quarterbacks look extra good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, same thing with Arch Manning, right? He's still in college. He was supposed to be the guy. And this year, they've just dropped off the face of the earth.
Dude, he played last year. He played like 2 games, full games, and he did well. And so, seeing him, he's been doing better than he was, but not great. But I'm like, Kate, where was last year's Arch? That dude was actually balling out, and this one's grimacing when he throws the ball.
Well, last year's Arch was fighting for a starting spot. This year's Arch is just being handed one.
Yeah. And we now know why he wasn't starting.
Right. I made
Quinn Ewers was a baller.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers. He actually did well. He deserved the spot.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the AFC playoff?
AFC.
Oh, sorry. Freaking heck.
No, that's that's me. I gotta apologize because you're leading this one, Will. So
No. I'm not leading anything. Matter of fact, here.
I recuse myself. Yeah, I think the Jaguars will probably not make it in. I'm trying to think, because I did say that the Chiefs wouldn't make the playoffs, and I really don't want them to, but I don't know if there's any other team besides the Jaguars. Maybe the Texans that could
no, the
make
Texans
it.
are based off of what we've seen from the Texans so far. There's no way.
It's just sad that they'll end up making it on a technicality that the bottom half of the AFC is just dog water. Like, they're just gonna make it by default.
So here's a question for you guys. Of the 4 divisions in the AFC, the American Football Conference, crushed at that time.
There you go. There you go.
Let's actually take the 4 winners. We've got Patriots, Steelers, Colts, Chargers. Do you see all 4 of those current leaders in the AFC, got it again, 2 in a row, holding on and winning their divisions? Or do you not see them winning it? Who and what? Who do you have?
Colts wins it.
Before I say my answer, I got to say, Will, that was a very good leading question right there. It's a very good leading question.
Thank you.
Good job, Will.
I chat GPT'd it while you were talking.
But no, I don't see all 4 current division winners, or division leaders, I should say. I don't see all 4 current division leaders staying as the division leaders when the playoffs come around. I think the Patriots and Bills could go either way, honestly, because the Patriots are doing much better than a lot of people expected. Although I will say I did have them making the playoffs, so I'll take some credit for that one. But the Steelers are going to win, and I think the Colts are going to win. I don't think the Jags are going to win that division. So I think Steelers and Colts, the Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs.
It's gonna be
based off of what I've seen.
Yeah,
that's going to be tough. I think the Broncos need to figure out what the heck they're doing on offense. But that defense, dude, they're good. They're legit. That defense is scary. The Chargers have looked good, and they've also looked bad. And same thing with the Chiefs. They've looked good, and they've also looked bad. So I think that could go any way, and I think it's kind of a toss-up between the Patriots and the Bills.
Then let me ask a follow-up to that. Will you guys currently? So I guess we already did this. Never mind. See, this is a bad question. But so hold on. Let me go again here. We've got the Jags out. We got the Chiefs potentially in. So re-rank them, and maybe not full 1 to 7, but give me your 4 division leaders and your 3 wild card teams by end of season, based on the first 6 weeks.
I'm still going to go with the Bills in the AFC East.
Yep.
Steelers, obviously, in the AFC North.
Yep.
AFC West, I feel like the Chiefs are going to win it. I really do.
Yep.
And the AFC South is going to be the Colts.
Okay, so there's your 4 winners. Now give me your 3 wild card teams.
Well, not the Jags, because I already said I don't think the Jags are going to make it. So it would be the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Broncos.
Okay, Avery, who are your 4 winners?
I think the Bills are going to beat out the Patriots for the East. I think the unless the Ravens really figure it out, I don't see anyone challenging the Steelers.
They won't.
Cincinnati's got a better record than them, but they've got even less of a chance to get back.
The Steelers would have to absolutely just crumble.
And then the fact that the Browns are below both of those is just the most embarrassing thing. Steelers. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers like, oh, we're winning. We won our division. Like, yeah,
look who was in
3
your division.
Yeah, if it was 3 geriatrics, yeah. Like, yeah, you better be leading. The South, I got the Colts. I think the Jaguars will actually make a wild card based on right now.
So who's out in the AFC West then?
Oh, sorry. I just went.
Right.
Yeah, the Chiefs. I think the Broncos are going to end up. Yeah, they're not good. they think Rashee Rice is going to change their fortunes. They're not going to get any better somehow. And I think the Broncos actually win in the West. I think they just keep getting better throughout the season, and I think it ends up passing over the Chargers. I think the Raiders end up beating up on the Chiefs too. Chiefs end up in last place.
The Raiders?
Wow.
In the conference.
I know.
Just kidding. I know.
The Jets end up winning more games than the Chiefs this year.
And then as my wild card picks, Patriots, Jags, and Chargers.
Okay, what about you, Will?
I think I've got the Patriots winning the East. Patriots, Steelers, Colts, and Broncos. And I've got wild card teams. I've got the Bills, the Jags, and the Chiefs. Chargers don't make the playoffs this year.
Chargers are going to charge her.
Oh. Chargers going to charge her.
Charger. Hardly know her. So low tier.
I also think that if the Chargers don't make the playoffs, and I'd like to get your guys' opinion on this, the Chargers don't make the playoffs this year. It's Harbaugh's last year in Los Angeles.
Are you making a prediction, or is that the case?
No, this is a question. I think that if they don't, then he won't. Then it'll be his last year. But what do you guys think about that?
I think it's too soon
He'll
for
stick
that.
around.
I think it's way too soon.
I don't know where else he would jump to. He hasn't even brought in the infractions on the team yet. Once he starts,
yeah, he has to at least do that.
Once the league starts throwing the hammer down on him, then he'll be like, all right, now it's time to leave. That's my cue. That's been his MO for a while now.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't know where else he would go.
Year? Isn't this only a second year?
Where does John Harbaugh go after this year?
Yeah, that's the better question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Are they brothers? I'm kidding.
Yeah. What are you looking up, Will?
Read his life. I'm trying to read how long Harbaugh's been in Los Angeles.
Since they beat Michigan. In 2 years. Is that 2 years? 3 years?
This is
Michigan won the national championship. Yeah.
Yeah, this is only a second year.
Yeah, won a national championship, got a bunch of infractions, dipped out to the NFL.
Yeah, I think there's still a short leash on him, though. This might not be his last year, but
I don't know.
I see what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
It's real short.
I don't think teams like to get rid of their coaches that quick unless the team is just absolutely terrible.
I
would still have trust in him. If they finish second,
I would too.
Or at least, a decent winning record, I'd be like, hey, I'm not going to bet against Jim Harbaugh long term.
It also depends on how the rest of the season goes. If they miss the playoffs, but they're 9-8, or they miss the playoffs with 10 wins, that's a different story versus they're 4-2 right now and they end the season with 5 wins. That's completely different. So I don't think that's going to happen, but there's a possibility they miss the playoffs, but I don't think they would be that bad.
Oh, super, super off topic. Still football related. I was looking at the Kansas City schedule, and on ESPN it shows the ticket prices next to it. And I'm so used to seeing the Cowboys ones, that's the Cowboys game because it's super expensive. At Buffalo, the tickets as low as $417. Do you want to guess what the Dallas game is as low as? And it's at Dallas.
Dallas, Kansas City?
Yeah.
I don't know, $900.
Joel?
600?
84.
Whoa.
On the Chiefs schedule, the next lowest game is the Titans at $113.
That's the cheapest Jerry Jones has ever been.
$84. It's probably out in the parking lot. You can hear it.
You know what? Quiet. You know what, Avery? You're right though. Dallas has multiple standing rooms only sections. Those are standing room
yeah,
seats.
you're right. Those
Those
look
are
like they
standing
do,
room only
huh?
seats. Yep.
They
Yep.
do.
You called it basically the parking lot. Good pull, Avery. Good pull.
Yeah, I'm
You
looking
can
at
stand up
I'm looking
for
at
5
Ticketmaster now, and yeah, that is if you sit where Jake and I sat, I think we watched a game versus the Giants a couple years ago, and the seats that we were in are $1,200 now.
Yeah, that
for
sounds
game.
more
Yeah,
like
there you
it.
go.
Oh shoot!
The upper deck, the highest up, $500.
Yep.
Well, that's
Really
what happens when your
standing
team
area.
is going to the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah,
Man, that's what happens when
$84.
you
What a wild
tie the
bar
Packers.
coverage charge. Just a cover charge to get in there, and like now you can buy drinks. Now you're allowed to buy our drinks. You can't see the game, but you can buy our drinks.
You can buy stuff.
And having been to a game there, the standing room only, if you have a seat, you can go stand in the standing room only seats.
Yeah,
Your
and just
standing room
screw
only
with everyone
becomes
else. Yeah.
So packed. Because everybody because again, it's an open bar at that point. You just stand around and drink. And it's like, well,
You basically paid
I will just stay
$84
here.
to come into the game without a seat.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit.
Sorry, Jill.
Yikes.
You trying to wrap this up? Your wife's about to yell at you.
Unless you want to do it.
I
Yell at your
certainly
wife?
don't.
All right. Well, that's all we got time for on today's episode. Thank you for tuning in and for listening. Please go follow us on all of our social media channels on Instagram, TikTok. We've got X, Facebook, YouTube. We appreciate all the support. And next week, we will be doing our NFC standings. So we'll be looking at the NFC and the current playoff standings for the NFC next week. And so stay tuned for that. And as always, don't forget to keep your balls played with. We'll see you next time.
Bye now, y'all. Also, Mark Davis's haircut still sucks.